Hello everyone, it's Polar's Lights and Signals. I hope you guys are starting to enjoy the warm weather. Today I want to do a video on a traffic light, but real quick before we get started, I just want to say again, thank you everyone for subscribing. After I got my 500 subscribers, I actually have been getting a lot more. So for everyone who is new, welcome to my channel. This is Polar's Lights and Signals. On this channel, I like to do videos of street lights, traffic lights, and maybe some stuff related to power lines like insulators and stuff, although a lot of my older videos are actually more about that kind of stuff. But you guys might see some of that type of stuff in the future. But yeah, welcome everyone to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, so that if any of you guys want to keep seeing more of these videos, you can get notified. And also, I think there's a bell you have to click on too, so please do that. And again, thank you for subscribing, everyone, and that's new, and everyone else for staying subscribed. So yeah, recently I did a little poll to see what you guys wanted me to review, and I saw in that poll that you guys want me to review I guess it's the 4th generation OV25/Krauss-Heinz L250, which don't shoot me for saying that. I know people don't believe that name exists. But I don't want to talk about that in this video, but I will do a video about that since it seems to be pretty requested. If there, again, are any lights that you guys actually want me to review that I might have, please let me know down in the comments. Or actually go watch my 500 subscriber special, as I actually have shown a lot of lights that I haven't reviewed yet, or ever even shown you guys in my other videos that I have. So if there's anything that you want me to review, please let me know in the comments below. I'll put up another community question, and you guys could answer that question if you want, and just tell me like what type of stuff you guys want me to do. But yeah, anyway, now with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and review this traffic light today. So if you guys haven't seen my first video on my 12-inch Eagle Durasig, this right here is an 8-inch Eagle Durasig. I acquired this a while back now, last summer, off of Facebook Marketplace. I actually drove out to Lansing, Michigan to get this. It wasn't very expensive, and I'm glad it wasn't, because these types of signals are actually quite sought after. Even though this signal is fairly new, I'm glad I got it for a good price. But real quick, I do want to talk about traffic signaling again, just because I don't do enough of these videos on my channel as of right now. And for anyone who's new, I just want to explain to you guys a little bit about basic signals. So this right here is an 8-inch single-faced signal. As you can see, there's just a back, and then the light just shoots out one way. There are other types of signals that also exist, but aren't really in service anymore. There's 4-ways. That are like fixed 4-ways. I actually have a video of a fixed 4-way if you guys want to check it out. I'll put the link up on the screen for you guys. And there's other fixed 3-ways, and there's also beacon signals that are either fixed or they're single-faced like this, but they're either hanging on a single span or in a cluster. And clusters are actually signals like these that are single-faced, but they're connected on brackets to help hold multiple signals at once. So yeah, and most of the time nowadays you'll actually see these in LED. And incandescent signals are pretty much a thing of the past now, since LED, like I say in every one of my videos, is pretty much everything now when it comes to lighting. But unlike the LED signals, these incandescent signals have screw-in sockets, so that you can screw in incandescent traffic signal bulbs. Of course, with that being said, you could actually put any kind of bulb really you want in here, but a traffic signal bulb is most ideal as it's actually made to distribute the light correctly. And since these single-faced signals are single-face, they're actually very modular too. You can see some seams right there. You can actually make any kind of signal really you want with these single-face signals. And I live up here in Michigan, where MDOT has some pretty unique setups, and they actually have experimented with a lot of their signals, and there's a lot of interesting intersections actually up here that they've made using different types of styles and clusters. So yeah, pretty cool. However, 12-inch signals are pretty much more of a thing now. These 8-inch style signals really are not used very often. I do see them in new installs, but it's very, very rare. And usually when they're in new installs, it's not really for the main road. It's either a bike signal or some other small signal for something off to the side. But yeah, these 8-inch signals are not very common. The 12-inch signals are. They're bigger and they're easier to see, and since LED is so good now, they actually give off more light since they're bigger too. So, yeah. But with that out of the way, this, like I said, is my 8-inch Eagle Durasig. Eagle has been around for a long time. As far as I know, they've been around since the 30s, and they've made all sorts of different signals. And this signal right here, I think, is from the 2000s. And I just say that because the signal, actually, compared to my other 12-inch Durasig, is pretty new and not really used very much. It's very clean compared to a lot of the Durasigs I've seen up here. A lot of them fade a lot, but this one hasn't faded as much. But yeah, this Eagle has been making the Durasig, actually, I believe, since the 70s. And the very first versions are actually different. And I'll point out some key points as I review this little 8-inch signal for you guys as to what differences were made during the production of these. And actually, these are still being made. As far as I know with differences, the logos on the back of these have changed, and I can turn it around for you guys. There are logos that are pretty visible. I believe mine's from the 2000s, because this is pretty much the 2000s and 90s style that they've been going with for a really, really long time. But yeah, as time has gone on, they've made minor changes in the logoing and with some other things as well. So yeah, pretty cool signal, and they still make these to this day. Durasigs are still being made as of 2022. Of course, these incandescent versions really aren't being made. They're just, the body shells are really just being made, just the modules, and the LED units just go into them. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. So real quick, before we actually look at the signal, I want to compare this signal with my 12-inch Durasig that you guys may have seen. So let me go ahead and grab that. Alright, so here we go. I got my 12-inch Durasig right here, and I do apologize. These are on their own controller, so they're not going to be sequenced at the same time. So try to ignore that if this one goes green or that one goes green first. Anyway, you can see the difference between actually an 8-inch signal and a 12-inch signal. And if you're wondering really what the inches are in relation to, the lens is actually what makes up the inches. This is actually a 12-inch diameter lens, and this one's an 8-inch. Technically, the housings are not, 12 or 8-inch. They're kind of their own length. But yeah, that's pretty much the standard, and that's just so that, in case the lens ever breaks, you can actually put a replacement in pretty easily, especially with everything being LED now. You can put an LED 8-inch diameter module in one of these, or get a 12-inch one. So yeah, these are pretty standard sizes. But yeah, you can see this signal is really small compared to the 12-inch one. The 12-inch signals really are huge. I mean, if I walk over, I'm 5'9". This thing is probably, I'd say, about 4.5 to 5 feet tall. So yeah, and then this one, my hip really starts right here. You can see it's just below my hip. So yeah, probably like 3 foot there in the height. But of course, you can make these taller. Like I said, these are very modular, and you can make any style of signal you want. That's pretty much all I really can say about, the difference between these two signals. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this signal back off to the side, and let's get into this 8-inch signal for real. Alright, so, yeah, this signal is pretty cool. I do like 8-inch signals quite a bit. They're very small, and they're actually good for indoor use and indoor displays just because of how small and compact they are. When it comes to, like I said already, Durasig's quality, usually stuff that's made out of plastic, especially like even polycarbonate, fits into this category. A lot of plastic stuff nowadays really isn't made very good. It's really just now a cheap alternative to make stuff. The name Durasig actually is pretty accurate when it comes to the signal. The signal is pretty durable. I will say the plastic on these, even though UV light can break down plastic, the plastic on this is very good. It's very flexible. For the most part, any plastic will wear down, but it takes a lot more UV light and I think wear and tear to actually wear down the plastic. The plastic is very nice on the signal. It's finished really well. A lot of times signals that are plastic aren't finished very nicely. They're very cheaply finished. There's no sharp edges or anything on here. It's very good, and yeah, it's just a very clean, well put together plastic signal. And when it comes to anything that's made of plastic, I really do have high expectations for it, or want to have at least high expectations for it, because this type of stuff should be made very good because it's plastic. And I will say Durasig definitely did a good job at making these really nice. And one thing I will say though about the incandescent signals is these lenses though over time do get kind of discolored. They lose their color, and that's really just because of the incandescent bulb. The heat and the UV light over time from the sun actually can wear the colors out just a little bit, but I don't think this one's seen enough use yet for that to happen. And really these 8-inch ones should actually be using a lower wattage lamp since they're not as big. So yeah, pretty cool. And like I said, I turn it to the side. You can see from the side view. And again, here's the back. You can see the really nice logo. I'll go ahead and zoom in to one of the logos so we can just kind of take a good look at it, just so you guys know. Now, like I said, I think mine is from the 2000s. This is the type of logo you'll see on the 1990s, 2000s version. So yeah, and I do like it. It's molded really well, and you can see it says Durasig here, and it has the nice little traffic light aesthetic for the eye. And yeah, it's nice. I really do like the logo. And that Eagle logo has been around for a really long time, and I think it actually still is. So yeah, pretty cool. It's a very nicely finished signal. So yeah. Anyway, with that said, let me go ahead and bring the camera up a little closer, and let's take a closer look at this signal. Now, like I said, the plastic, it's very nice, but it's actually kind of thick too for this 8-inch version. You can actually see for the visor here on the plastic is actually kind of thick. So it's really nice. You got the visor here is actually screwed in with some nice plastic tabs, which actually can snap over time, so do be careful. But they're nice and thick, and they just screw right into the door here. So yeah, pretty cool. And you can see the cord going into the top. There's usually holes on the top and bottom of these signals, and that's just so you can have mounting points connecting to the signals for however you want them to be mounted. And yeah, and like I said, this is a plastic signal, of course, so everything's plastic. There's no metal other than some of the screws and stuff. But yeah, pretty cool. You can see the lenses here. That's the red, and the lenses are also logoed. And they're done pretty well. You can actually see where the factory mark of the plastic is right there in the middle, but that's not really a big deal. The lens is pretty nice and pretty good quality. It's finished well and definitely has some clean moldings on it. I'll take one of the lenses out. You can look at it a little bit more closely. But yeah, and then there's green, so pretty nice. Yeah, there's a little bit of a step in here. It kind of worries me a little bit because snow could probably sit in that, but since this one's incandescent, it probably won't really get snow anyway. But LED signals are pretty notorious for getting snow on them. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down, and we can I can actually open the door for you. So to open the door on these signals, you actually have these tabs. And mine are kind of already unscrewed, but all you gotta do is unscrew them, and I can actually screw this one back in just to kind of show you. That's if you're closing it. Those are just some wing tap threads, and then I'll undo it the other way. All you gotta do is undo these, and yeah, you have two of them on this door, and once that's off, you can actually open this right up. So pretty nice and pretty easy, and you got your reflector in here, and you got the door up here, and of course, like I said, I'll take that lens out. Let's go ahead and look at that a little bit more closely. Alright, so pretty much with every signal, there's actually tabs here that you can use to get the lens out. For these, you got some Phillips head screws. All you gotta do is unscrew these a little bit. I'm not sure if I can get it to turn from there. Oh, that one just came out. So all you gotta do is unscrew these, and I don't want to unscrew mine too much. You might, but you can always put them aside like this. There we go, and then I don't really have to undo that one. I can pretty much just slide it out. But yeah, as you can see with the door, it's very detailed in here. There's nice little support details. Of course, since this plastic can't really last forever, it does need to have some support, you know, to keep the plastic from not being too flimsy and not wanting to crack over time. So yeah, lots of little support details in here. Pretty nice. It is a little dirty. I gotta give it a little bit more of a clean. But yeah, and you actually can take these doors off. They are interchangeable. Right down here, you got two little tabs, and these really, I don't think I can undo them right now, but there's a little piece of plastic that kind of holds them in. And it's kind of a one-time clip. But you can clip them out if this door is ever damaged. Just unclip these, and you can actually take these doors out. What's nice about Eagle's Durasig here is any version of the door actually can fit on the module. So whether you have the old style door with the old style visors or with the new ones, you can pretty much interchange most of the stuff. So pretty cool. Durasig was definitely thinking ahead on the serviceability of this thing. So yeah, I'll go ahead now and take this out. Okay, so here's the lens. So, like I said, it's also polycarbonate plastic. Just like the rest of the Signal, it has a really nice, really thick, and really kind of actually maybe tall, I guess I could say, rubber seal here, and this is just to keep water and moisture out from inside the reflector area, and they're pretty easy to take off if they're in good condition at least. So yeah, just all you gotta do is undo it like so. There's a little fold there, that's kind of how it stays on, and then yeah, you got your lens out. This lens is really nice. It's kind of basic though. There's not really anything exciting about it, but it is actually very durable. I can see I can flex it nicely. It's pretty shiny, and it is, if you look at the details, it is actually clean and clear in mold. So it is a very nice, very well-finished lens, but it's kind of bland. It's not super exciting. Eagle did make glass versions that you could actually order with the Durasig, but it's pretty common to see these plastic ones in these Signals as it's, you know, really cheap. But yeah, you can see it says, looks like it says 06. I wonder if that's a date code. Maybe this Eagle Durasig here is from 2006. That'd be really cool. If anyone knows if that's actually a date right there and that says 2006, please let me know. I'd really like to know that. I think the Signal is from the 2000s, but I don't know if it's 2006. You can see Eagle Signal and Golf Western Company. I don't think that my 12-inch actually says all this right here. It does say Eagle though. There's some other markings here. I think this actually is a date code. Let's see, it says 77, 78, 79. Yeah, this is kind of like a date code thing right here. I don't know if my 12-inch Signal had this. This is definitely not from the 80s. This Signal is a little bit too new, but that just might have been something they never really, or where was it? Right here? Yes, probably not really something they ever got rid of. And you do have a wattage max, 116 watts max is what you want to run on this, because one thing the incandescent bulbs can do, if the heat's too much, it can actually burn these. And I've seen it actually really with the 12-inch Signals. I've never seen it with the 8-inch ones. But these lenses are actually very prone to being burned, especially if they're just on constantly. There are some incandescent Signals around Detroit where they've been on constantly. They're for like railroad tracks, but they don't always go to yellow and red often, and the lenses burn. It's pretty disgusting. I don't really like it. That's probably the only thing I don't like about these incandescent plastic polycarbonate lenses. Now, if this was acrylic, this thing would not last. This thing would probably melt pretty quickly with any kind of incandescent lamp you had, unless you were in a really cold area. But yeah. But other than that, the lens is finished well and it's nice. Again, you can see the Eagle logo. But yeah, just pretty basic. Nothing too exciting, but I do like having this in my collection with the signal as well. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this back together and we can get into the signal. Alright, with that put back together, now we can look at the signal. So here is the inside area. I'll kind of just pop this open real quick of the top part of this signal. It's a pretty simple area. You can see the reflector here. It's on this really nice cast aluminum frame, and actually to take it out it's pretty easy. There's some tabs up here, and I'll try to zoom into them. I know there's some light. It might be a little bit overexposed, but there's a tab here. Let's wait for that lamp to go off, and then maybe you guys can see it a little bit better. There we go. See that yellow tab right there? All I gotta do is pull down on that. You can see it actually pops out of that slot. And then there's another one right here. Actually, no, the other one's unclipped. Sometimes it can be a little tricky on these 8-inch ones, just because it's very small. There you go, pull that out, and voila! Your whole reflector assembly comes out. And of course, with the Durasig modules, these are actually interchangeable as well. The very first versions of the Durasigs, like I said, are a little bit different. The reflectors, I believe, are actually have a completely plastic frame, but they still have an aluminum reflector. But they still have these same side tabs here to hook on the same way. So it is all interchangeable. And then these are some flanges right here that actually connect on to the side of the housing. Woo, you can see that really nice reflection there in that lamp. So yeah, like I said, the frame on here is a cast aluminum, and then the reflector is just a pressed aluminum with a hole in the middle for the socket. So pretty nice, and I can actually show you the socket here. So this is kind of cool. This is a backlight socket, and really you actually can adjust it. So my 12-inch is also like this as well, my 12-inch Durasig. You can actually adjust the position of this, and I don't entirely know why you'd want to, because it really isn't going to do anything with the bulb other than maybe just twist it. I will say, with how these incandescent ball lamps are designed for traffic signaling, you can see that the tungstens are actually in a perfect circle, and they're actually they're flat with the reflector, and that's how you get good distribution. So the bulb already does that for you, so really twisting it's not going to do anything, I guess, unless you put in some weird bulb or something. But if you want to, all you got are these little hooks right here that you can bend down. They're kind of hard on this one because it's so small, this traffic light, but you got to really press it down. Okay, so this is not something I've ever had to do up until now, actually. But I will explain real quick. This is absolutely impossible to take off. I don't know if the older ones on the older 8-inch Durasigs are this way. Like I said, the reflectors are a little different because you got all plastic on the back. This is pretty exposed, I'd say, compared to the older versions. But this version, I believe what you're supposed to do is loosen that down there so this can lift up just enough. And I'm trying really hard, but it's just absolutely tight. My 12-inch version isn't like this, but you can see you got some key points right here. And basically, if you lift up on it, you can see I can actually turn the socket so that the keys can key into a different spot, and that's an adjustment thing you can do on here. But with these 8-inch versions, these little latch things here, they're just absolutely impossible to get off. And of course, with these off too, actually, here, I'm just gonna pull it really hard. You gotta just pull it really hard. There we go. So like that. Of course, you can twist the socket. And actually, another thing I want to show you guys too, just so you know, these bulbs can be hot, so be careful. This one's not too hot. Get that out. You can actually, oh, you can see it already. If you ever needed to replace the reflectors, there you go. So here's the frame itself. And here is just the plastic, the aluminum press reflector here. So if you ever did actually need to replace this in case water ever leaked in and corroded the heck out of these, yeah, you can undo that long piece of metal latch thing there and just take this all out. And of course you got a weather seal on here, and this one, I don't think that's a crack. I think that's just supposed to be like that, but you can take it on and off, and replace that too, I guess, if you ever need to. So, there is lots of room for maintaining these things. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together now since it was absolutely impossible. Alright, so I got that back on. Actually, I'll say it's a lot easier to take off now. I wonder if it just was stuck. But one more thing to add about the maintenance part of it is you actually can see here, you got some really nice SPA terminals with Durasig's wiring. So their sockets, you can see, like I said, SPA terminals here. So if you ever have any wiring on these signals that gets like brittle and starts to shed and you got metal exposed or the wires burn up, all you actually can rerun some new wires, and all you would need to do is just crimp on some brand new SPA terminals, and then you could connect them right back to the socket here. So I really love that they make it really nice and easy to maintenance and do repairs ever, but of course most of the time you never see that. But in case you ever wanted to, yeah, you can make nice easy repairs. So you got really nice SPA terminals here to plug in and unplug from. So really cool. I think Durasig is actually the only signal I know of right now that has this type of setup. So really awesome. And like I said, the socket I think is made of some kind of bakelite plastic. It's not your normal plastic. It's pretty hard, but it's really nice and really high quality. And you can see the inside part of it. It's not really too complicated. You just got some plastic threads molded into the socket, and then you got your two contacts here. So very, very simple design. I'll go ahead and screw this lamp back in here, and then I can kind of show you that. Of course, this is just a traffic signal 69 watt Phillips lamp, so just a pretty basic lamp. I do try to keep incandescent bulbs in these signals so they can be as authentic as possible. Of course, someday I'm going to run out of these and I'm not going to have any more, so probably some LED screw-ins will be available. Ooh, looks like the red light's on. So yeah. So Durasig actually has their wires color-coded. So your red and white stripe here is your neutral, and then your solid red, obviously, is your hot or line wire to the fixture, and I'll show you. They're all spliced on a really nice terminal block that's in this signal. But yeah, of course, coming in, you can see my nice old style yellow extension cord, and I just have it kind of clipped on to this little thread stand here. And then I got my two wires. I got just some terminals here that I directly screw down. They are exposed, so I actually cannot touch these or I will get shocked. Now I will say this might be a little odd at first because these are completely exposed metal terminals screwed directly to the module, but since this module is completely plastic, it's not conductive, so I don't have to worry about getting shocked just touching the signal at all. And I did this too, so I can just easily have a cord connect into the signal from the top area. Just have a, just so I can have a really nice, easy way to connect cords to the signal. And then going down from there is my controller and stuff. So yeah, I just do that to make the connecting extension cord really easily. But other than those things, yeah, it's really all you got in here. You just got, 4 spots really for mounting terminal blocks or any kind of little components that I don't really know what could else could go in here. But yeah, and then you got your plastic sticking out here for the visor, or excuse me, for the reflector assembly. I will say, even though this isn't really the part of the signal that's exposed to the UV light from the sun or the outside light at all, I would say be careful with these. These probably could break easily. But then you got your hole in here as well, so that your mounting components can mount into it. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in here right now. And of course, like you take it off, you just want to make sure those tabs press into those little stubs coming out on the frame. And then voila. And then basically when you close it, there's kind of just a kind of a press-in securement. So all you gotta do is make sure it slots in, and really that's it. It doesn't like click close or kind of like snap close. It just kind of sits in here, but of course you don't have to worry about it being loose, because once you shut this and have this tightened down, the rubber seal and the lens door will actually press down on that and hold it right in place. So pretty cool. They definitely were, I'd say the execution of how this thing assembles and closes is very smart. So yeah, good job Durasig for doing that. We'll open this one up, and this is where the brains of the signal are. Now usually these signals would be on a big controller, of course, but since this is in my boring little apartment room, I have a simple controller in here. So again, to open it, you just undo these little wing threads. And there we go. Opens right up. And yeah, you can see it's pretty much the same thing in here. There are some little minor corrosion on this one. But yeah, right here are some instructions. I'll take a look at that in a second. But yeah, this part right here is really where the brains of the signal are. You can see the terminal block here. It's very, very nice. It's a backlight terminal block, and you can see there's 6 points of contact. Of course, this is a 3-color single-phase signal. So you got red, green, and yellow. And then you got 3 spots for your red, green, yellow, neutral, as you can see there. Of course, like I said, everything is color-coded very, very nicely so that you can identify what everything is. But yeah, everything's just kind of crimp connected, and I got some little hooks that hook under the screws, and yeah, it all just screws down together. So, but your signal control wires here actually go down to this little control here. So this is a little circuit board traffic light controller that I got off eBay, and this is for the most part the same exact control that I actually put in my Eagle Durasig, and I'll show you the instructions here about who it's made by. So here we go. This is by Galak Electronics, Electronic Kits and Components. These people do have a website, but they do sell some of their stuff on eBay, and actually I didn't know this, but they actually have an email and a phone number, so if you guys want to pause the video and give them a call to get your own little single-phase traffic light controller, you can. They do have a warranty. I'm not really interested in that. But yeah, in here here it shows what kind of controller you're working with, and it has a really nice list of instructions. It says, thank you for your purchase, blah, blah, blah. And with this controller, there's plenty, and I mean plenty, of instructions and plenty of functions. So here's your quick start guide here. It shows all your basic wiring stuff. And here are all the sequences that the signal can do. Now this one actually does, I think, maybe a little bit more than my other one, but that's just because I think this controller is newer. I'm not going to get into all these sequences. When we get to looking at how the signal sequences, I'm only going to do basic traffic signal sequences that you would see out in the field. So I'm not going to get into this, but yeah, you got plenty of modes that come with it. And then some other optional mode selection switches and other things that are pretty miscellaneous. So yeah, I would say this is a really nice controller. So if anyone has a single phase signal and doesn't really have a real control box for it yet and just wants something easy to start with, you guys can go ahead and buy this control offline. But I got this off eBay, so I'll go ahead and put the eBay link down in the description below. I will say, as time goes on though, they do relist this item constantly, so the link may not work, but I'll try to keep it updated, so just let me know in the comments if that link isn't working. But yeah, I'll give you guys the link, of course, so that you guys can go buy one of these. I bought a few of these, and I actually like them. They're really easy. They're very economical and versatile, so yeah, awesome. Anyway, I'll put that aside for now. And again, yeah, we can just look at the controller in person. So yeah, the controller is currently running. Right here are all your connections that go out to your lights. You have your hot and neutral connection there, a fuse, some circuitry, and you got right here, this little thing I'm touching, that is a speed switch. And then what's really cool, while you're hooking it up, is this lights up. Each sequence lights up on the board. So it's actually showing you now it's on green. So the board is showing you that the green light is trying to run right now. Of course, we can see green. Sorry for that terrible shot. So yeah, it's really cool that is on there so that when you're running this, you can see what colors are running or what colors you want to try to get going. So yeah, pretty nice and really helpful. And yeah, for this one, of course, if you had some screw mounts, you could also always screw it down. But since this one is just going into the signal, there's actually these little feet that it comes within. They kind of just clip into the holes. So yeah, I just got it clipped down and sticks right on. So pretty nice. I really am happy with this controller, and I'm probably never going to really take it out unless I actually get a control someday that I can run this off of. But yeah, for now, this does a good job at doing a realistic sequence. So yeah, of course with all this stuff in here, the rest of the module again is just the same. Got your mounting points, you got your screw mounting points there. Of course, the reflector, we already know what that's like, so I'm not going to go over that again. And of course, the door is the same as well. So I'll go ahead and shut that, and we'll just look at the bottom of the signal real quick, just to kind of show you again. Just got to open it up by twisting these wing threads. There we go. And again, with this green module, you can see it's the same business here. Got your reflector here. This one's kind of hot. Got the same style of connections and wires and such, and the module's pretty much the same. Now, with this module, whole entire module, I'll say, to connect each module, there's actually screws you can see that go up into the housing there, and they're long enough so they actually go through, and you can see there's a bolt there. So these Durasigs hook together each module by having screws, so really cool. Most signals don't do that. Most signals will have some giant bolt thread things that go up in here. I don't entirely know what they're called yet, but this signal doesn't. It just has these screws that pretty much screw the modules together, and that is actually kind of nice though, because the modules are more guaranteed to stay straight with each other in the lines. So yeah, pretty nice. Alright, so that was pretty much the inside of the signal. Not really too much to see, but it is still really nice. Let me go ahead, stand this back up, and we can watch this signal do some sequences. Alright, so I got the traffic lights set up here in a nice position, I guess. So what I'll be doing for this signal, since it's just a basic single-phase signal, is all your standard sequences. So we'll start off with standard red, yellow, green, whatever you call it, standard sequence. And then I'll do flasher as well for red and yellow. There's about 30 different sequences you can do on this. However, that's too much and would take way too long to record and edit for you guys. So, of course, again, if you want to get this controller, please, I do recommend going online and buying it and trying it out for yourself. But yeah, let's go ahead. This is the normal standard sequence. Let's just watch how nicely it transitions. So we're on red right now. Oh, and there we go, we're on green. I do apologize for all the noise. It's sunny and warm here now. People are outside. I'm sure the traffic lights are really busy right now. We're on yellow now. And then we're on red. One thing I will show you guys real quick, and this is just one thing I really love about Incandescent, is the eyeball effect that sometimes you can get. This one's a little smaller, so I can't really get it as well. But what I mean by eyeball effect is with incandescent traffic signals, since you kind of have some depth with them by having a lens and then a reflector, it almost kind of acts like an eyeball. I guess I can go ahead and kind of just zoom in and see if I can kind of get that eyeball effect. There we go. You can see right there you got kind of like the pupil in the middle, and then you got the rest of the eye, so pretty cool. Go ahead and zoom back out. Let's look at the green a little bit more closely. So yeah, you can kind of see it with the green. You can see the really nice lamp in the middle, and you got kind of like the rest of the eye. It's almost like an eyeball. So you can see it when I zoom out. Really, really, really nice. Go ahead and zoom back out, and we can watch the sequence again. So we are on green. Yeah, unfortunately, there is overexposure with this camera. I can't see it as nicely. There's yellow. Let's see if I can zoom in real quick. Ah, there we go. Lovely eyeball effect. And red. Alright, let me go ahead and switch the function to flasher. Alright, so I went ahead and set it to flashing red. I'll kind of just turn it to the side, maybe just a tad bit. Let's see if we can. And maybe a little bit. It's a little harder with this one to get an eyeball effect. I'll say the lenses don't have a super nice distribution as much as the glass ones. But yeah, pretty cool. That is pretty much your red flasher right there. And you can see with the incandescent, it's really nice and smooth. It's one thing I love about incandescent. It's very authentic. Again, like I said, it's and smooth. Very nice. So let me go ahead and set it to yellow flasher for Main Street. Alright, and here is a yellow flashing right here. And since these signals are pretty new, there really aren't any old style sequences that you'd see these things do. You'd be seeing these signals do most of the modern style sequences, since pretty much these signals came out a little bit later in the traffic signal generations, because a lot of the old stuff was a little different. But yeah, those are pretty much the three sequences you would see it do, just green, yellow, red, side street flashing red, and then Main Street flashing yellow, like you guys are seeing here. So yeah, and again you can see it's really just nice and smooth. I really love this thing. And then just for the heck of it, I'm actually gonna put it in a little mode that I like to call a party mode. Alrighty, and this is my favorite mode. This is a party mode. I don't really know what they call it. This is sweeping lights, they call it on the instructions. I do like the sweeping look. It kind of makes it look like it's flashing in some type of disco fashion. So yeah, this is my mode I put on when I play music in my room at night and just want to have a light going. But usually my 12-inch Durasig does that. And before if we finish up here, how about we end the video with the 12-inch one? Alright, so they're both in party mode, and while they're partying out there, I do want to show you guys one thing real quick that I just discovered about the light controls here. So the reason why the light controllers are different, slightly different between the two, is because that Galactic Electronics actually makes upgrades, it looks like, to their controllers. So this is the one that came with the controller I just recently bought. So I bought two of these. You can see the code name there. But this one's not the same. This is the VG-305E, and this is the one that's in the 12-inch. So this one is slightly different, I guess, than this one. This is the VG-305D. So I don't know if they make upgrades. So when you guys go to order these, they may not be exactly the same as mine. So I would just go, of course, they got their website up here. Always just go ahead and contact them and probably double check just to make sure that they're not making too many changes on these, so you know what you're buying. But other than that, they're pretty much mostly the same controller, and they can do the same exact thing that you want. Oh, look, they're in sync. No, they're not in sync. So yeah, go ahead, definitely, and check out their website if you guys want to buy the controller. I'll put the eBay link that I bought it from down the link below. And I can also put the website there as well. Anyway, I thank you guys for watching this video. I'm really glad I was able to review my little 8-inch Durasig here. I'm so happy to have a 12-inch version and an 8-inch version. They do look super great together. And yeah, if you guys liked this video, please put a like down below. And if there's anything you guys know, of course, about the 8-inch Durasig, of course, there's probably not really that much more history out there that I already explained, but if there's anything I didn't know, please let me know down in the comments below. And tell me what you guys think of these 12 and 8-inch Durasigs. Do you guys think they're nice, or do you guys think they're crap? I think they're great signals. Just don't buy Econolite versions, because I know those are really bad from what I've heard. But yeah, if you guys ever want to get any of these plastic signals, I think Durasig is definitely a good brand to put in your collection. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. Goodbye.